Hi, hello, Mabo, Habari, Shalom, Salama, Shalom, greetings, family. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Wanda. This is Diaspora Connect in Tanzania. Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm a native to New Jersey in America. Born and raised there, and I left America back in July of 2020 and relocated and resettled in Tanzania, Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, which is a beautiful country. It's an East African country. 6 countries border her, and she's a very beautiful country. She has ocean, mountains, farmland. Tanzania has everything. So, very beautiful and peaceful country. And happy to be here. And today I want to do a video, and of course this is for my US audience mainly because I am talking about what you got going on over there in the States, family. I know I keep repeating the same thing over and over again. It's because if it's on my heart and it's on my mind, it's like I can't even let it go until I share my views with you, share my feelings with you. And yeah, the views, opinions, thoughts on this channel are mine and mine alone. I am no professional, but I'm professional in experience in that I've lived in America all my life. And I moved out and left basically in my 50s. I am in my 50s. In case you just didn't know, in case you thought my hair was white for an unknown reason, in case you thought that I dyed it salt and pepper. No, it's not dyed. It's the real dealio, y'all. It's really gray. So I am middle aged. So it's crazy because here in Africa, it's like it's hard to find the middle agers as much. You see more younger people, and then you see older people, and I'm always like right in the middle right now, in terms of like meeting local Tanzanians, and they never know which side I'm on. They always think that I am a lot younger than my age, but the age 50 never comes into their mind when they tell me how old they think I am. The giveaway is the hair for sure, but when it's covered and I wear my hair wraps, yeah, I have 30-year-olds, I have 20-year-olds saying, hey, how you doing, this and that, and I'm like, how old are you? So yeah. But anyway, it's very it's flattering, I ain't gonna complain and get upset about it. It is flattering for what woman that is aging, that does not like compliments, that does not like somewhat of attention to a point, as long as it's respectful. Yeah, so no problem. Hamnashida, no problem. So yeah, I just want to do this video for my US folks, my Black Americans, my African Americans. You are losing your freedom of speech. You are losing your freedom of speech. That's what this video is about, because they have ICE agents who are going to, given the technology, to go into social media apps and see what you're talking about, look and see what your views are. Very authoritarianist, very dictatorshipist. Yeah, family. You're under a king. This is literally back in the Old Testament. You are under a king, like King Saul, that was over the children of Israel and disobeyed the father's instructions. So not that he is Saul, but I'm just saying, America prayed for a king, and they got one. So now they're not happy. Now they're complaining. Same thing with the children of Israel, complaining and no. But you prayed when you had your father over you and your father only. When you had him and his law, statutes, and commandments to guide you for the way you should live and conduct yourself, but you didn't appreciate that. Same thing with America, when God, the Most High was over America at one point. I mean, she's never really been a Christian nation, really, because it was built and founded on the blood and the back of the children of Israel, but at least she kind of pretended to follow the Most High. And they did have Bibles in schools, and they did, include the Most High, or the God that they, instead of following the real God in the Bible, they had a version of him that they fashioned to fit their beliefs, their narrative. Like the KKK, they are Christians, but they unalive people. Not that they follow, thou shalt not kill, and thou shalt not hate and despise. Yeah, not that they follow that, but they had another version. So they've always had a different version of our Father. So, but anyway, yes, you're losing your freedoms, the freedom to speak. If they find out that you're speaking against the country, the president, the fake Jews in the Middle East, all the things that they stand for, white nationalists, evangelical white nationalists, if you speak against that, yeah, all that could get you barred from, you can lose your job, you can be arrested, you can be harassed, like you are not going to have any peace. As long as you stand against and speak against this new administration, you're not going to have any peace living in America. Therefore, the best thing for you to do before everything really gets locked down in terms of social media is leave immediately. Yes, some people say scrub your socials, but a lot of people need their socials for making money and for different things, and they use it as an avenue to express their feelings and how they feel and all that, their views. But it's getting to be dangerous to have socials at this point. We're gonna need to start communicating with each other using something like this, family. A lot of the locals here in Africa still use phones like this, and all of them don't have smartphones, but they live off this phone. You can pay bills with this phone. You can talk to locals, everything they need to do here to function and do it. They can use this phone, family. They can buy land with this phone. They can buy anything with this phone because they have a mobile money system. So it's based on the SIM card that you have in your phone. You have all your money on your phone. You can transfer it from bank to the phone bank, like everything you can do with this little device, and it doesn't have to be smart. That's how our people are going to have to move in America. You may have to, even if you decide you want to scrap all these social medias, you're going to have a phone to communicate, and you may have to get back to this point, these type of phones, because they're going to even have access to emails that's not going to be private. Any type of technology, they're gonna have all these AI devices that can scan and check and go through social medias to pull the ones out that are saying this, and they're gonna have lists, family. So your freedom of speech is gone if you live in the States. If you live in the States, see, that's the advantage of not living in the States. I don't live in the States. I live on a continent, and even if I don't stay in Tanzania, I won't be going back to the States. I'll be going to another African country. I'm going to stay in Africa somewhere, family. This is my home. So, you can't speak. I can still speak. I live in Africa, and they don't have jurisdiction over here. And it also helps if the country is not as developed. That's going to also help you in terms of security, in terms of protection, in terms of being able to speak freely. You can move to a developing country that's off grid, and the AI won't have access to stuff here like that, only if you're online. So if you, for example, move to one of these African countries and live in the suburb, not even just outside of the city, that's it. They have major cities in all these African countries, Johannesburg and Nairobi and Dar es Salaam, different. Zambia has Lusaka. So different African countries have, most countries have city areas, and then they have the suburban areas. Suburban area is what you're looking for as a Black American, trying to escape the matrix, trying to escape all this AI surveillance. You will have to live outside of the cities. And not only America really don't count, to be honest, because they got that place on lock. Like they know from the map, from the top to the bottom. They got cities under the ground. They got communities under the ground. They got people working slavery under the ground. Like they never stopped slavery. So that America don't count. You have to be outside of the country, and you have to be in a developing country to where everything is not developed yet. And that lack of development is what's going to actually save us, family. I know it's hard to wrap your mind around, and it's hard to believe, but the more technology, the less safe you'll be. The less technology, the safer you'll be, because you'll still have freedom. You'll have freedom to move. You'll have freedom of movement, freedom of speech, freedom to live the life that you choose to live. Yes, it may not have all the conveniences that you're used to, but you can create an environment where you can be like off grid. You can have solar panels. You can have a well. So you're off grid basically, because everything is off grid. It's your solar panels, is your lights, your borehole or whatever is your own water, your structure that you build on some land, and the only thing you'll have is, if you have a smartphone, you'll have your smartphone. But if you're off grid and you're in rural areas, a lot of that stuff is not even mapped out yet. It's not on the map. So for example, a lot of the areas where I live it's not on Google Maps. So I have to tell people to meet me at certain places, certain landmarks, certain places in the developed area, like at this store or this place, and I actually have to walk to meet people. So I like it like that because it's my security. Even here, a lot of locals were not able to find me when I get an Uber, when I get a Bolt. They can't find me. I have to have a local to tell them exactly how to get here. See what I'm saying? So it's a security measure. It's safer if you're unable to be found. So nobody can just come to your house. Nobody can just locate you, find out if you say something they don't like, locate where you live and find out, unless you tell them or unless someone shows them. Right? So it's safer that way, in that you can speak your truth. You can be online. You can tell the truth and not be muzzled and not be threatened, not have someone to come and hurt or harm you or your family members or your loved ones. So, yeah, that's what it's getting down to in America. And I've been saying, and I know I hate to beat a dead horse, and I know that's not a good saying, but get out immediately, family. Stop worrying about your check. My Social Security check. I get this check. I get that check. How about you check with the Father? How about that be your check? How about that be your backup plan? How about He is your source? Because at the end of the day, He's going to have to be your source. Because what if they get rid of all these checks that we all get? Then what will we be if we're still over there? You will be in their hands. Like, you won't have money. You won't have a roof. You won't have a car. You won't have anything but a FEMA camp. So you'll be at their mercy. So you're in that country getting their money, and you say it's yours, but it's theirs. And when they take it from you, every piece of it, what are you going to do? You got to think about stuff like that. Even if self-employed, even if you have your own business, you need clients. You're going to have to advertise, market online some kind of way. If they shut all that down, if they shut you out, you're going to have to be at their beck and call. You're going to have to do what they tell you to do. If they say get this mark, you're going to have to do it if you want to eat. If you want to eat, if you want your family to eat, if you want your husband, your wife, your children to eat, you're going to have to jeopardize your soul. You're going to have to sacrifice. You're going to have to make a hard choice. Or it could be food, or it could be obey, or they'll unalive you. That's a hard choice. It's just like choosing death in this physical plane, or life in this physical plane. But if you choose life in this physical plane, then your soul will be damned if you get the mark. So it's going to get very difficult over there. It'll be much easier outside of there. It's better to risk struggling and being, per se, broke, than knowing you get a check, but then it's not a guarantee that they won't shut it off, but you'll be stuck over there, and then you will have to live on the run. You will have to be like in hiding. You will have to. It'll be like how it was during the Harriet Tubman time. During her time, it'll be back like that. People will be hiding on the run. They have to try to find food. Like, it's going to be like that in America. Believe me, it's going to be back like that, because it's never been an authoritarian dictatorship like what's coming. And if we thought the 60s and 50s and 30s was bad, and 40s was bad in America, 40s and 30s was bad, this regime is going to be much worse, because this is authoritarian dictatorship. We've never had something like that. So, family, get out now. Get out now. Worry about finances when you get out. If you're out and you're getting checks, and it's a risk that they might cut you off, group with people. Group with us. Nobody is going to let you be hungry outside of the country. If you group with us, if you group with diaspora, no matter what country you go to, we can pull our resources together and feed each other, house each other, work. And also we have locals that we are working with, that we are partnering with, that are family to us. They become family. So they're going to look out for us as well. We can get down to a point where we don't have nothing, and they could be the ones looking out for us. They can be the ones making provisions for us, cooking for us, because they share food anyway. They're used to helping one another. We're not. So we can learn a lot from them. So in a lot of our groups, it's not just us, it's our locals that may be working for us at our businesses, that may be, cleaning, cooking for us, and maybe, gardening for us, and maybe security for us, or driving us around, or whatever we may need. A lot of us have met locals that become like family members, in that if we fall on hard times, together they can make suggestions. They can say, oh, I got this land over here, everybody can come over here, because it's their land. So there are provisions that you can get outside of America. Don't be stuck in America talking about, I'm scared I might lose my Social Security check or my this check. That check is going anyway, because if you don't have it, then they know you're gonna have to. They're trying to make it to where everybody depends on them for survival. So get out while you can. Get out while you have a passport. If you get a ticket, get out. Now, if you don't have a passport, you're pretty much stuck in there with them. But the Most High got a plan also. I think he has a plan to make, a last-ditch effort to get people out. But the thing is, you're going to sit there until he does it. Like, you're going to be going through a lot. You're going to be, basically, it's going to be like the Hunger Games. You're going to have to try to survive, even just to make it to a point when he opens the door for you to get out. People are going to be running, racing, with nothing but the clothes on their back. That's it. So now, while you have money, while you can get a ticket, while you can sell stuff, or if not, write it off. It's a loss. You can come here and buy stuff over again. As long as you got your assets and stuff, your money in the bank and all that, you can make plans to resettle yourself outside of America. So that's my advice. Freedom of speech in America is gone at this point. And you need your online access, so you probably will have to either make your stuff private and something like that. I don't even know if they're going to be able to see that, the private. I feel like they will have access to all of the technology, because they'll be using AI, and YouTube is AI, and all these other places are AI, so they just connect it. So even if you try to make your stuff private, try to unlist your stuff, they can still see the type of stuff you was talking about. So that's not going to be enough. You got to just get out of that country. I'm warning, get out of that country, and get out now. Stop asking questions. Stop making excuses about why you don't want to leave. Get out, and get out now. Whatever you got. Regroup outside, whether you want to go to Mexico and Canada, someplace closer, Panama, the islands, closer. You don't have to come to Africa, but you can go somewhere closer. But just get out of the country immediately, family. I'm going to say it every video until you get out. Okay. Oh, let me touch on the memberships that I have. Okay, so I did a video about a group that I have on Facebook. It's called Beyond the Rivers of Kush. And if you read the Bible, You know where that's referenced in the Bible. It's my people are dispersed out the beyond the rivers of Cush. My people are the children of Israel dispersed. So the group is named Beyond the Rivers of Cush. I'm using the group as a gathering place. It is for everyone, all black people, especially in America, Afro descendants. It is also from continental Africans who is willing to help us in whatever we need, resource-wise, information-wise, whatever. The main target is black Americans, but if they're in certain countries, and if you are a continental African, and I'm calling out to you, if you're a continental African and you have land and you have resources and you can help us, you would be a major asset, no matter what country you're in, as long as you're in a country that's safe, as long as you're in a country where we are, so we're in Kenya, we're in Tanzania, we're in Ghana, we are Sierra Leone, Senegal, South Africa, Namibia, Botswana. We're all these places. So these places, if you are a continental African, and I need to do a video specifically for that. So I'm not going to focus on that. Since I start talking about it, I'm not going to say a whole lot. I'm going to do another video calling out to all continental Africans if they are willing to partner with us and help us out in case we need help, in case we might need land to where we can stay until we can figure out how we can, manage financially. Some people may have their banks frozen, or their bank accounts frozen, or checks cut off. We may need refuge. So basically I'm saying we may need a place of refuge outside of America if we decide to come out. This call for me is just mainly on the continent. There are other countries that we're going to, like Asia and Canada, Mexico, all the way. That's something that maybe the people there will take initiative to set some things up. But I'm trying to take initiative to set things up on the continent, anywhere on the continent. So I know I'm in Tanzania, but I know we have people in Kenya and all these different countries on the continent that would be more than willing to, if our people needed help them. Because people are online sharing because they are encouraging our people to come out. We all want our people to come out of America because we see the writing on the wall. We've seen it for years. I've been crying this cry, family, since 2020 when I left. I've been crying this cry when COVID was going on. I'm like, come out. I'm in Tanzania. Ain't nothing going on over here. Everybody is fine. So, please, if you are in any of these other countries, start gathering together. This group is called Beyond the Rivers of Cush. I got distracted. I got off. But Beyond the Rivers of Cush is on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook and you want to join the group, you are welcome. I am not the leader. I created it. I'm the admin and I'm a moderator. I call myself. But I'm not the leader. I just basically opened it up for people to jump in. Right now we have 525 members. We've got I would say we got almost 100 new members since I announced it a day or two ago. People were just jumping in, and I have also been inviting people. I've been trying to go through my Facebook list and just look at the pictures, because family, we need to see pictures. That's kind of a part of screening. So if you want to join the group, you have to show your face. We have to see that you are. That's the start of the screening process, because when you get in there, and we're all watching. I'm going to get some other moderators to jump in. We're watching for behavior that's agent, bot type people. We're looking for people like that so we can remove them. It's going to be a removing, blocking, deleting group. Yeah, I believe in that. So if you are arguing, if you are causing dissension, if you are trying to keep us confused and all that, you will be automatically blocked and deleted. No questions. So please work well with each other, because this is kind of like an emergency. This is kind of urgent. This is kind of like our life and death situation. So we can't have distractions in there. We can't have people arguing and stuff over stuff. Please not in that group. we're just trying to be here to support each other, because it's going to get really, especially in America, it's going to be dangerous, and a lot of people might need that group to share stuff that's going on in America with each other. Even though I'm outside, but there are people in the group that's inside, which is why I opened it up. So a lot of stuff, it won't impact me or affect me because I'm not in there, but the people that are in there, that are in the group, they can help each other in that group with the gathering, with the information, with maybe resources. Some people may be hungry, or some people may need some food, and we have people with gardens. We have people in America with resources where they have food set aside that they can share, all kind of stuff. So that's what the group is for. Also, I did open membership on my channel. I say I want to use it for exclusive content, which I still will use it for exclusive content for the project that I'm doing here. I'm trying to set up something here, right? Of course, it's going to be small to start because it's just me, but we got to start somewhere, which is what I'm doing now. Like, I don't have a lot of money, I don't have a lot of resources, but I can share what I do have, the little I have. I have these groups, right? We can group together. There are people who do have resources and funds to be able to help other people. So grouping together so we can see what the needs are and we can pull together to help. So that's kind of what I want to do. That's my heart's desire, and actually it's what I've been wanting to do ever since I've been here in Africa. I was like, I want to help people come and with information. That's why I started doing consultations. So I am also working on a project where I'm trying to acquire land so I can build an office space for the company, because the company is growing, especially now that I have these groups and all this is going on. People may want to come, and if they are in any of the groups, then I can try to help, a little bit as a soft landing, in that they come here, they get the boots on the ground, whatever, and then they kind of go out and do their thing. So it's almost like a soft landing for people who want to come. And especially if they're already connected with me, they're already in groups in that Beyond the Rivers of Kush in America, they come in, and then, they're here, so they can all hands on deck. They have skills, and they can start jumping in here to do stuff that they are skilled at, right? So this is kind of the idea of branching everybody together. So the people here in Africa to the people in America who need to come out. They really do. And a lot of them are afraid because of the financial idea of not having any money, especially if they have kids, families, loved ones, all that. But that's what we are here for. We have to be able and willing to share, even if we don't have much. There have been times where I helped people in my other place when I was in Mbezi that ran out of money or needed a place, or they didn't have food, and I shared what I had. I had a very little at that time. I didn't have a whole lot, and I don't have a whole lot now, but I have a little bit more than I had back then. That was back then, I think it was in 2022 or 23. That was my struggle time. What saved me was the fact that I always had an extra room in my apartment. I always had an apartment with an extra room, so I could always rent that out as an Airbnb or bed and breakfast or whatever. That really saved me. It was very difficult to try to help people coming straight from the West, because we all broken, every single one of us, and we all got issues, right? So help people, especially women coming. I was just helping mainly women coming over, single women or women with like 1 or 2 kids, to stay in my room, just to help them get, try to understand the country, get comfortable. But I always had a lot of, backlash. I've always had a lot of attacks against me from the people I tried to help. So it's always been like personal stuff, personal attacks on me. But it's like, it's not even, like, this whole thing is not even about me personally. It's about trying to help people get here and get established. Now, if you have a personality clash with someone, me or whatever, and you stand in my house, just find a place of your own. That's it. It's like, when you are not going to get along with somebody. If you don't like the person's rules or their personality or whatever the case might be, that, okay, let me find a place of my own, right? Same thing with us growing up as young ladies. We know in the house with our parent, we didn't like some of the rules. We didn't like some of the things that they required of us. We can't stay out after this time. We got to dress like this. We got to do this. We got to do that. I didn't so much have that because my mother was very liberal. But I was more like her mother. I was like, because I was in church in high school. I got, I accepted Christ back in high school. So I was kind of like a young, like, mother to my mother, because she was just kind of like very liberal. She was kind of young, and she grew up with us. She had us young, 16, 17. She had my sister at 16. She had me at 17. So she was a young parent. So she was kind of like, liberal. She was out there partying and drinking and smoking and doing all this. But I was like the young mother. I would be like, Mama, don't do that, and Mama, you need to stop smoking. And I used to be cleaning up the house. Like, I was like the young mother, kind of, sort of, right? So I've always been kind of like that motherly type, like that. Even at a young age, I would do that for my mother. I would kind of, and she used to always say, who is the mother and who is the daughter? She's always tell me that, because I'll be trying to tell her what to do, and she's like, who's the mother and who's the daughter? She would be telling me. I'm like, Mom, I know you the mother, but that's still not good for you. Like, I used to be trying to tell her stop smoking, stop drinking, all kind of stuff, and she used to get upset because I was trying to tell her something. But anyway, I got off track, sorry. But anyway, that's what saved me, the fact that I had an extra room. So I would share food. Like, I had met this couple, not a couple, it was a young lady, and she had a son. I think he was 9 or 10, and she got locked out of her hotel because she didn't have the money to pay. She called me. Now, she's from the UK, and I never even met her, but she saw my video online. She emailed me, reached out to me. Do you know, I had her get a driver to bring her to my house. She didn't have any money, and I actually didn't have any money, but I had to borrow the money from somebody, a friend of mine, to pay for her driver so she could get safely to my house with her child, because she was outside. They wouldn't let her in the hotel because she couldn't afford to pay for her room, and it was like on Thursday, and she wasn't getting money until Saturday. So I told her, just come to my house. It was at night. It was like 10 o'clock at night. So I just said, come to my house and we'll figure it out. I didn't have any money, family. I was struggling too, but the good thing is, I still opened my door to them. They had to sleep on the couch because I had a guest staying in my room. So I have a couch. So they slept on the couch, her and her son. And I didn't have a lot of money, but I had beans and I had rice and I had greens. I had spaghetti. Like, I had stuff that I could cook. So I'll cook for them. They didn't have nothing. And I kind of sustained them until they was able to get their money and start buying food and stuff. So this is the type of stuff that I'm talking about that we may need to do for people. You may not per se have money to pay somebody's rent or something like that, but what you have, you can share. So I'm not going to have people hungry or a child hungry if I got something. If I'm going to be eating, they're going to eat. We're going to split it 3 ways. If it's not a lot, we're going to split it 3 ways. So we'll all have something, right? That's just how I am. So I wanted to help, and this is what I could do. So I'm just using the tools or the resources or whatever the little bit I have, I'm trying to share. And so I'm praying that we all do that, because it is going to be difficult, and it's going to get hard, where people are literally running out of America, family. They're going to be running if they have a passport. Now, if they don't have a passport, they won't be able to. They're going to have to fend for themselves inside. So, and then the Mexico wall was built to keep them out, but it's going to keep us in. So Mexico is going to be difficult. And then Canada, white people are already claiming asylum in Canada. So, they're going to take their people before they take us. So, family, this is serious. Please don't wait. You waiting, you sitting. I know you, since the election, a lot of us been relaxing and dancing and all that. But you're going to be waiting until you can't leave. So you can relax, but use wisdom in your relaxing. You don't have to be out there marching and drawing attention to yourself. Move in silence and privacy, but get out. Family, get out. Make your plans to get out. Because if you stay, it's going to be a civil war, and you're going to be in the war. Women and children, I'm sure you don't want to fight. There are some women, they might want to fight. But majority of the women and children, they don't want to fight. They do want to leave. And the elderly, the children, and the women, they want to get out. Get out while you still can. Get your ticket, get out. Get you a ticket and get out and go somewhere. You don't have to come here, but you need to go somewhere. You need to get out of America. Because the men, I heard, they're the ones saying, we're not running, we're going to fight. No problem with that. You'll fight and die and lose your life for a country that's not your own. And there's some people that think America is their own, so they want to fight and die for it. that's no problem. But there are women and children and elderly who don't want to do that. And it's not fair that they get stuck in there during a civil war where they can jeopardize getting hurt, harmed, and be hungry and all that stuff. So please, please get out now, immediately. Okay? Just wanted to do this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll do another video in the next couple of days. The sun went down on me. I missed the sun altogether, but I have some lights on. So thank you so much. I am available if you want to email me, diasporaconnect0@gmail.com. diasporaconnect0@gmail.com. I do relocation and business consultations for Tanzania. Also, I have membership now where I am offering membership packets, which is a fee because that's how they have it set up. But I am also going to use the membership group to talk about stuff, private stuff, plans, not only exclusive to me doing business and working projects here, but in how we can mobilize in movement for our people. I'm going to use the membership because it's private. We should only share stuff that we plan in private groups where you can monitor and you can delete and block people, remove bots, agents, ops. We have to do it privately. We can't do it publicly. Okay? So thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video, live stream. Yeah. So if you're on Facebook, send me an email to diasporaconnect0@gmail.com and I can shoot you an invite. I can send an invite via email for you for the group. So I can send you an invite to be accepted but you have to be on Facebook in order to accept it and get in. So instead of you looking for me on Facebook, but on Facebook my name is Wanda Handford. But just if you can email me and I'll shoot you an invite for the group on Facebook if you want to be in the group. Otherwise, I'm going to be kind of talking about it a little bit on YouTube publicly, but not details, just general stuff like I'm doing now. But all the specific details because see, in those groups, in the membership videos, it's exclusive only to members. I may be talking about details about stuff, about how, we gonna do this, we're gonna do that. Like, I'm not doing that publicly, right? So it's still exclusive if you pay. So thank you so much, and I will see you guys in the next video. Shalom, salama, peace, family. Praying for everybody, everywhere, specifically my people in America. Shalom.